YouTube. In today's video, we're gonna be taking a 3-month plus updated look, real world, everyday use perspective on the iPhone 16 Pro Max and 16 Pro. Now these, in the beginning, as every iPhone had little controversies and they kind of had a shortcoming. No Apple Intelligence at launch, even though Apple Intelligence has been hyped up. Now it's slowly trickling out, and we all know by this point, if you don't know, you won't see the full usage of Apple Intelligence until early 2025, is what it is. But if we strip away the whole lack of Apple Intelligence and we just focus on these devices for what they are, what they've been giving me for these past 3 months, it's actually a good device, especially for the 16 Pro. The 16 Pro this year, this is the year of the 16 Pro. I know that the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus were in an immaculate place this year as well. It's the year of the iPhone 16, like the regular devices. But when it comes to the Pro devices, as these are the ones that I tend to review, the 16 Pro is the shining star this year because of the battery improvements. The fact that this 16 Pro aligns on par with last year's 15 Pro Max, essentially, as far as battery goes, is a huge leap in battery improvement. And the 16 Pro Max takes the battery king yet again this year for 2024. Now, we put those things which are super important, battery life. I mean, how many of you are addicted to your phone? How many of you are on your phone right now and needing that battery to last through your day, your work day, and some? Well, you're getting that style of battery life with the iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max. And for those of you who want to take a break from the large phone, you can do that this year. I know we're very close, holidays are, around the corner, and people are going to be getting these devices in. That's another thing I want to talk about. Listen, I don't know if you tech enthusiasts know that Apple, 9 times out of 10, when they're making a new iPhone, especially at this point where everything is pretty much, stagnant in the tech space of cell phones, they're not making it for last year's iPhone user. That's why they talk about the old iPhone and how much this has improved, X amount, 30%. Obviously, it's marketing too. Come on, let's not get it twisted. I ain't gonna give Apple all that leeway, but it's because they're talking to that user. Hey, this is 50, 60% faster than that 4-year-old iPhone that you still holding on to, or that 5-year-old iPhone. And I say this because in my comment section all the time, I see the people who are excited about their upgrade to this device coming from iPhone 12s, iPhone 11s, even iPhone 10s, and some even 13s and 14s are happy to get into here. So it's all relative and subjective to you, the user. That's why I'm here for you, all of you. I don't just focus on the tech snobs. Let's continue. So these devices, let's look at them. Now, I've been rocking them caseless for the most part. I don't use cases. I don't like cases, but I have these things. These are like little leather backs from Nomad, which I absolutely love because these give me that full caseless feel while still giving me some of the case protection. Like I have the back protection and the camera protection for when I put my device down. In the past, when I've been using my devices bare bones naked, I would just place them down on their screen and I end up with a scratch screen eventually. But with these leather backs, I still get the feel and the weight of a caseless device. I still get to feel the titanium on my fingertips. I still get to feel the iPhone as it is. And I also get to place it down on its back and protect my screen. That's why this year, I'm happy to report, I think that we are scratchless so far. Last year, I had a scratch quite early, but this year, as you guys can see, I am scratchless, and it's thanks to these. So if you guys like these, links down in the description below. But typically my devices are used caseless, and as you guys can see, my edges had no protection. My edges, no, I'm trolling. But these devices look great. And that's a testament to the build quality of the iPhones, especially all of the devices as of late. This new titanium fused aluminum, or whatever you want to call it. This style of device, the durability, I have dropped these. So, I don't think anyone can go without dropping a device at some point. So these have dropped multiple times. And as you guys can see, from a build quality perspective, these are built to last and run the course. And I will advise you, put a case on it. And if you like me, you don't like cases, put a back on it. You feel me? Oh, boom and boom. I love it. So, moving forward beyond build quality, and we talked about battery. Well, I kind of briefly just said how great the battery is, but if I want to give you a more in-depth, realistic perspective, this has the top battery. If you look at the battery test, especially if you look at, I think it's Phone Buff, they do the best battery test. This won this year. So this is the battery king of 2024 in the discussion. This 16 Pro, as I said, has stepped up to battery life to the likes of that of last year's 15 Pro Max, essentially, in that arena. And that is absolutely phenomenal. And that's why this is like a top pick this year for Pro devices, or at least the shining star, because you can now get a small phone and have top tier battery. Now, again, heavy users, you people, yes, you, I gotta call you out. You guys are in your own little niche. You know, if you don't have some type of charging device at this point, I don't know what you're doing. I was gonna grab mine, but you guys can watch my accessory video if you guys wanna see that. But there are a lot of great MagSafe chargers and just charging bricks that you can grab at this point and extend your battery even further. But gaming on these devices, the gaming battery improvement for the 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max, even over last year, is a nice significant upgrade. And coming from those older iPhones, oh, you're in a new class. So if you like the game on these devices, they will perform extremely well. So that's the battery perspective. That's the build quality perspective as someone who's had these and used them every single day for 3 months. Well built, well performed in those two areas. Now, let's talk about, the screen. I mean, let's be honest. The beautiful thing with these are the fact that the bezel did shrink if we're going from a year-over-year perspective. But let's just think about this. If you're coming from an iPhone 11, iPhone 10, iPhone 12, and you get into this device, number one, everything is larger, obviously, because it's ironic how, what used to be the large phone size is now the small phone size, and this is the large phone. These are bigger devices. What, 6.9-inch screen? I forgot off the top of my head. I'm winging it. I think I got it though. But look, super slender bezels. I know it's hard to tell when I got darker background, but I mean, that's on purpose. That's to make it feel like it's just seamless. You feel me? Screen quality, absolutely amazing, especially for my people coming from those older iPhones. Oh, you're in for an absolute treat. If you had last year's iPhone, come on, you know what to expect. And it's still phenomenal. It's still top tier. It's still gonna give you ideal HDR, ideal color gamut, color accuracy, ideal viewer experience, along with those beautiful speakers. iPhone, I mean, listen, it might sound like I'm glazing, and maybe I might be slightly glazing a little bit, but let's not get it twisted, baby. The Z Fold 6 is by far one of my favorite, if not maybe my favorite phone of 2024. I'm gonna do my top phones of the year. And the S24 Ultra, another beast, but neither here nor there. We're not talking about those right now. The speakers, year after year, Apple knocks it out the park with their speakers. And you combine that with the great screen, the color accuracy, the things that you're able to do for creators and stuff with this. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent, but phenomenal screen. For those of you upgrading from older iPhones, you're in for a treat. Enjoy. Now, one of the biggest selling points that Apple seems to focus on year after year when it comes to the Pro device is the cameras. And I cannot not agree with them. Yo, the iPhone 15 Pro, 15 Pro Max, and 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max have phenomenal camera features. Apple ProRes Log. If you're in the video, I cannot stress, especially if you're into that type of video. Normal users, don't worry about it. I got y'all. Matter of fact, let me talk to you, the majority first, before I talk to those people in that niche, creative bubble. Yo, the cameras on here, amazing. And if you want to take them even further, I have to be honest. You throw an ND filter on here and you go out and you take photos, you're getting camera quality photos, like mirrorless camera quality photography and video. Oh my goodness. But let's say you don't even go through all that. Again, normal people who just gonna point and shoot with this, you're gonna get great photos, you're gonna get great video. This is a smartphone. You know, low light is always gonna suffer on a smartphone. So, you know, low light, you feel me? That's on every flagship phone of the year. Low light is meh. It's scientific physics. Cameras are so good on these this year. And, you know, I'm gonna point out last year because you might be searching in between the two. You can get a 15 Pro, 15 Pro Max and have phenomenal cameras. I covered those as well. And I still have, still great. But these devices, man, Apple ProRes Log, I got some great accessories for that too, to where you can hook up a M.2 SSD and have it MagSafe on the back. If you haven't seen that, super fire. But that makes Apple ProRes Log recording even easier. Same, I have one from Anchor with an SD card if you prefer to go that way. But the level of quality you get out of Apple ProRes Log, the level of quality just in general you get out of these cameras and the camera app, it's top tier. Whether you just choose to point and shoot and use the, you know, in-camera app settings and results, those are good. And if you take it a step further and control everything and get into Apple ProRes Log, even Apple ProRes Log with the, you know, in-camera controls, looks great. I can't say it enough. It seems like a broken record. That's the funny thing about iPhones. Like, people hate or get mad about them or get upset. And some of you guys have, you know, how could I say, justified reasons. I'm not gonna make it seem like you don't. But every year we say the same thing. Great cameras, consistent overall device performance, battery life, especially as of lately. That's just the, like, this is why the 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max are solid devices that you can pick and choose. I know people are gonna be like, biased, Apple sheep. I don't care. Call me what you want. Like, you think that changes anything? No. Am I still happy and enjoying my iPhones? Yes. Am I still enjoying my Z Fold 6 and a Galaxy S Ultra device? Yeah. So just save it for yourself. Cameras, phenomenal. I don't want to go too long. I'm trying to keep this video tight and, you know, snappy, but you know how I do. If you don't know, now you know. Can't go wrong. I will say this though. They did bring this new button. They don't want to call it a button, but camera control. I've had my honest thoughts about it. Not the biggest fan. Didn't find it as useful, but here's something that I found with it. Most people are attempting to use it like this, right? With your, especially if you're right dominant. The better way to use it is to flip it the other way and use your thumb right here. You get way better stability, way better results. Even with the slide-in and everything, if you use it the opposite way with your thumb instead. So left-handed users, you guys are winning. So I just wanted to point that out as a fix, temporary, slight fix, or I don't know, it's a Band-Aid for the camera control. Let's move on. iOS 18. Yeah, like I told you guys, you know, we are missing Apple Intelligence, but if we take away that, I'm not gonna sit here and focus on that. iOS 18 is a solid deliverable. Every new iOS in the beginning, you know, but over time, updates come and it gets smooth. Some things about iOS 18 I'm not the biggest fan of. Like the new photo app layout, not the biggest fan. Yeah, there's a fix where you can get rid of, matter of fact, let me show you guys the fix. Go to the bottom and tap on customize and reorder and just uncheck all of this and just keep like media types. It gets a lot less cluttered and a lot more manageable and a lot more ideal. Let's just put it that way. But iOS 18 on here has been solid. Like, I like this device. Uh-oh, I just set my alarm system. Hold on. I don't want to hear that loud siren in my ears. That would have been crazy. The fact that you can move your icons is a W. You can't move in the way that I would like with a little less magnetism and just put them everywhere. You can't change the grid sizing and so forth. But I like this layout. I like what I'm able to do with my iPhone thus far. Yes, it's restricted. No, it's not as open and as free as Android, but it is what it is. And it is a W for my Apple iOS users. So you guys upgrading and getting into iOS 18, which some of you guys already have access to iOS 18. Let's be real. Apple iOS always goes backwards a good ways. So you get some extra features with the dynamic island and a different UI or user experience when you have the latest iPhone with the latest iOS, especially when you're coming from an older device. But again, like I said, the broken record is super smooth. It's like butter. It's super fast. Gaming is top tier. Like, okay, it's an iPhone. And it is what it is. But great devices this year by Apple. And yet, they didn't raise the price. Unlike Samsung, you know. Can we get mad? Like, listen, there's not much innovation year over year. But in light of that, Apple is not being greedy in the sense of just raising the price every year. That deserves some type of, I guess, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, Samsung, nice, put your swords away, okay, relax. Let Tim Apple have a moment, because y'all been paying more. You know, this costs more than this. Make it make sense. You know, it should be about the same price, if I'm being honest. Maybe not, I don't know. There's a lot of new features, you know, they actually had AI over there ready to go. The most important thing, let me just round this video out, user experience. User experience is what matters most. And that's why I can talk about these devices with the absence of Apple Intelligence and still have a positive review, because my user experience has been solid. It's golden. Like I said, smooth as butter. I'm getting all of the iPhone, iOS goodness that I'm used to, a little and some with the iOS 18 little changes, but you know, all in all, it's a solid iPhone experience. The battery life, man, this thing right here, ooh, this thing right here really impressed me this year. Of course, obviously, the Pro Max is like my main iPhone choice. If I'm choosing in between these two, I also made a video, the one that I make every year, comparing these, helping you make a decision. So if you kind of in between these two, you guys can watch that video and maybe I will actually help you go one way or the other. But what a good year for the iPhone 16. It was kind of like a rough year if you look at social media and you don't have opinions of your own and you follow the crowd. Like, there was this whole, everyone was returning because it was trendy on TikTok. You know, or saying they were returning, but I mean, a lot of people buy these devices and then just return after the 2-week period anyway. They get their little content off. No knock to that, because you gotta do what you gotta do, but I don't want anyone who may have seen these narratives or these jaded content creators. A lot of tech creators are jaded in the space. They don't even have their enthusiasm for tech anymore. I can understand it has gotten stagnant, but still, for you, if we do this for you and you're somebody coming from an older device, I gotta tell you how good this is. If you're someone who upgrades every year, you should already know what to expect. So what more can I, like, come on, you know. So, it is what it is. Like, all I can say is that if you're getting one of these, enjoy it, because I've enjoyed mine.
I rise and I wake and I gotta go get it. I make up my bed and it's straight to the digits.
Wait a minute, can you believe I almost forgot to bring up the mighty Apple ecosystem? As you guys can see right here, I have my AirPods 4 with active noise cancellation. Super fire, made a video on these. These are actually really good this year. My go-to EDC along with these. And then this iPad Mini 7, which is easily the best iPad. You hear all creators talk about it. Hey, listen, I gotta echo that. And review video, updated one coming soon on this, as well as the Apple Watch Ultra 2 in the satin black titanium. Beautiful, with this super dope aftermarket band. If you guys wanna know what band this is, I'll have it linked down in the description below, as well as I made a video dedicated to bands and accessories for this watch. But the ecosystem is undefeated as usual. Yeah.
No cup of jokers, this is acidic, so I take a shot with the lemon and ginger. Look in the mirror like, yeah, I'm that. Look in the mirror like, I'm fitted. Looking outside like the world is all mine. Look in the mirror like, go get it. I gotta get to the scene, I gotta get to the bag now. I can't be chasing on these. They getting, they feeling and dragged down. That's why they just crash out.